Hello, Manchester University. Welcome back to GLEC Week 4. Today we have a really special game for you guys today. It's going to be Manchester University, obviously us, versus Indiana Tech University. A team that we've never played before in GLEC, and it should be a pretty good game.
Exactly. This is looking to be like a great matchup for us. We're very even in ranks, very seemingly even in skills. So I'm looking forward to see the draft.
Yep. And I have their, just as you may know, the ranks did just reset. We do have their ranks here. Their top laner is a master player. Jungle was Emerald. Mid was Emerald. ADC was Gold, and their support was also Master. But as you guys may know, ranks just reset. A bunch of new item changes just came out. So the game's going to be a little different right now than it was probably last week or the week before that even. Starting off, looks like Indiana Tech did not ban something round 1, it looks like. Or is it... Well, regardless, we do know that they banned the Belveth and the Nami, which are two pretty prominent bans. Nami being a very big player on our support, and Belveth being our jungle's main. And then, of course, we banned Thresh, Lilia, and Ari, who are, I mean, personally very skill-expressive champions, give or take Lilia. There's Ezreal. Yeah, they banned the Ezreal from our ADC. So, Yeah, I mean, it looks like pretty even bans across the board, kind of like hitting all the different roles a little bit.
It looks like they're at least going to play pretty heavily through bot because they're looking at an Ezreal ban, which is our ADC safest pick, and a Nami ban. So that could take away any potential like Lucian Nami pick, any like
Right.
aggressive thing to try and get a lead down there. Looks like
It's
they might be trying
it's
that.
really good you actually mentioned that too, because if they do lock in this Lee Sin, which I think they did, Lee Sin is a very aggressive kind of playmaking jungler. Very strong early, can kind of brawl if he gets fed, as well as like having all these super like really good playmaking abilities such as his ult, his Q for being able to close the distance, even like ward hopping just to get nice unique angles on people. It can be really tough to deal with a Lee Sin, and if we do play for bot, which if they pick in the Nautilus, it's very obviously a very aggressive support. Uh, we could expect a lot of like as you mentioned, they play through bot and try to get a lead that way. But with that in mind, we did pick up the Varus and the Volibear. Now, Varus is a pretty heavily poke kind of bot laner. He does rely a lot on his Q and his uh, the
The-
what's ability is that?
The E.
The E, that's it. Uh, his Q and his E to kind of poke out opponents a lot and kind of do damage that way, which is it's safer than some other ADCs, but obviously not as safe as like an Ezreal who can just blink away or something along those lines. But we do have the Varus Leona, which
Interesting.
I don't know much about that comp. You're the support player. I'm sure you know a bit more of like what synergies they have as a duo.
I think Leona does a pretty good job of blocking where Varus can really thrive off that, but interesting that we're going for a safer pick with the Leona. Be more used for engage or like counter engage, I believe.
Yeah, especially if Leona does also leave the bot lane, which and look for plays elsewhere.
Absolutely.
With that in mind, they're also locking in the Jinx, kind of a more hyper carry ADC, kind of one of those ADCs where you get one reset and they can kind of start running through teams. And I obviously we mentioned earlier we do have the Volibear lock in. I mean, I guess that could be either top lane or jungle. To be fair, we don't even really know for sure where that Volibear is going. I would assume jungle if they pick the Lee Sin.
Yeah, we've seen Pokey do some nasty work on Volibear. Might be looking forward to that.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be a flex pick. We lock in the Volibear, and if we think the top matchup is okay for Volibear, we can just lock in the jungler right after.
But it's true.
Looks like they are banning the Syndra and the Jarvan. They're probably expecting the Volibear to go top then, if they're banning Jarvan at least. And then the Nico ban, obviously, really good team fight ult, very useful with a Lee Sin and a Jinx. And then the Renekton ban,
Interesting.
kind of interesting. I feel like Renekton does pretty well in the Volibear, I would assume, right?
Yeah, I think
Just kind of like the shield break plus all the dashes. Like, it's kind of hard for Volibear to kind of like get on top and stay on top of Renekton.
it's
He
one of the
can
few
kinda,
champions that can brawl with. Maybe come out.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, it's a shut. Never mind. I was about to say if they lock in the Yasuo here, it'd be kind of an insane Rammus angle. But I know that I'm pretty sure that Gabe does not play Rammus, so I mean everyone can play Rammus. Let's be real, but I mean if I see a Yasuo, a Jinx, and a Lee Sin, Rammus looking kind of nice there.
And Attack's comp is just looks so good for fighting and for team fights
Yeah.
in general.
And especially like kind of peeling and like playing for the Jinx as well.
Absolutely.
Nautilus, of course, the root, the Q, like all that stuff to kind of like deal with enemies right next to Jinx, and then Shen can ult on top of Jinx, make sure she either lives or like can get her resets in a fight, and then kind of like steamroll after that.
Absolutely. Like they have so many methods of engage, but with Gen E Flash, Nautilus Hook, Nautilus Ult, Lee Sin Dive, it's gonna be really hard for Manchester to try and keep them off. But Lissandra, a really good way of dealing with that.
Yeah, Lissandra, I mean, obviously her point and click are just being able to kind of like say, you don't get to move, pal. And especially with a kind of solo carry like champion like Jinx, very important that we have that. And we have a lot of our counter engage as well. We have Volibear, we have Leona, we have Ornn. a lot of lockdown of our own. However, it's Lissandra that I think especially is kind of a like group, just like people in this area can no longer move.
Exactly.
And that's going to be really reliant on the spacing from the other team as well. Making sure that Lissandra can't get her like 4 or 5 man stuns.
Exactly. And even if they manage to get things really strong, I think that Lissandra is going to be very good at shutting down team fights.
Right.
Even forcing her to build QSS is going to be big to steer her off course.
Right. Now, to be fair, they don't just have to rely on the Jinx to carry. They do also have the Orianna, who's kind of a lame bully, but also has a really good utility with her ult. And obviously her utility with ult has a lot of functionality with obviously Nautilus, with Lee Sin. There's a lot of functionality with that. I think it's really important, though, to keep in mind that even though that is something they have, I do think we scale probably a little bit harder than them.
I would agree.
Obviously Lee Sin is playable going into the like mid to late game, but obviously not insane. Orianna, she's really good ult, but her damage I feel like does kind of fall off a little bit. It's really only kind of Jinx that's like really strong going into mid to late game, especially if she gets fed, obviously. So as you say, if we play kind of back in the play fights front to back, we might start losing there. But if we dive on top of the Jinx, I feel like they really lack that damage.
Absolutely. And something to watch out for, I think we're going to try and maybe focus on Lee Sin, because Lee Sin has the potential to fall early. That could come out of control.
Right. And I perfectly agree. So we're going to come back when the game starts up, and we'll see you guys then. right, and we are back, guys. Well, welcome back to the game. We're getting set up here real quick. It looks like we are blue side, so uh, kind of I guess kind of harder angles to gank bot. I don't know. Never mind. Maybe I'm misjudging, but I do think in general, Lee Sin will have better angles to gank bot
I'd agree.
in this game, but like they're looking to board together.
Interesting. Already
Interesting.
For aggro.
Yeah, I mean that was a really good play from not there, trying to like look for the potential hook, and it looks like we are getting rotations over here. I would be a little careful of actually fighting here if I were the Indiana Tech. I do think our level 1 in general is pretty strong.
Absolutely.
Especially with Volibear.
Face checking the Orn.
Face checking Orn. But it is Shen. I don't know if Orn wins his trade.
Grass procs.
Grass proc.
It's not.
If he gets another Q, maybe. Not really.
Could have
Yeah.
gone worse.
Shen is one of those one of the strongest level 1 champs in the game. He's kind of safe to kind of walk in as he pleases, be like, "Oh, you're chilling here." Nah,
He can sort of do whatever he wants.
Well, mid lane is probably going to be kind of a mid lane is probably going to be a bit of a poke fest. Orianna versus Lissandra.
Be a little surprised to see any form of solo kill out mid. It's both. I feel like what they both want.
Yeah, if there's a solo kill, it's probably going to become from a misplay on someone's end.
Absolutely.
But I will say, I think it's probably easier to gank the Orianna here.
Oh, great hook
nice
from Nautilus onto Eris. Eris take half health.
Yeah, that is fairly significant. But as I was mentioning, Lissandra is going to like to look for a gank on this Orianna. She's a relatively slow, kind of immobile mage, especially with Volibear combined. It's going to be kind of tough for Orianna to kind of outplay that.
He's doing just a good job at bullying the Orn here and keeping Orn away from them.
Yeah, although I do think once we get to about level 3 or 4, Orn's going to be better at kind of brawling back against the Shen. At least he'll have a better way to do short trades, which is usually what you want to do against Shen. Like very short trades, kind of like look for your combos and then back off if you can. But obviously right there, not really going to get the opportunity to. Trying to look for the E, not going to be able to find it.
Finn's looking at topside jungle for MU. Maybe looking for a dive here on the Orn.
I do think a dive would be really good here, especially if Shen can get this aggro real quick. And there's the taunt.
Right.
That's going to be a dead Orn. First blood going to Shen.
Perfect dive by them.
Ooh, and Lissandra looking for the stun, not going to find it. Orianna getting her flash out.
I think
However,
Orianna lives here.
Orianna might live. She might even kill Lissandra, but that is the root, and there's going to be the auto attack to kill. Armstrong is getting the kill on Orianna. And furthermore, a pretty hefty trade going on in bot lane. They're just getting a lot of damage on this Nautilus. Nautilus re-engaging, but I don't think that's a really good idea. This is going to be a dead Nautilus here, and there's going to be the flash. Jinx is going to be getting a kill on the Varus, and, well, Jinx now looking at a Leona and a big old bear walking her down. That's going to be a Volibear kill, and that is going to be 2-0 Volibear right now. He's going to be very strong, very hard for Lee Sin to really play against.
That was great by Armstrong boys, making sure we got value around the map, kind of punishing Lee Sin for taking that dive topside.
Yep. But to mention, Lee Sin is on Volibear's Gromp right now, so he's not getting nothing. But
That is true.
I do think a kill for a Gromp is usually in the killer's favor. Although Lee Sin will probably get a level up sooner, which could mean that he has level 6 for grubs.
That is true.
Level 6 for grubs for... no, yeah. You can't get 6 for dragon unless you're, like, stomping and perma farming. Super hard farming, but... Yeah, that could mean that Lee Sin gets a level up, and I think Volibear probably still wins it a level down, truthfully. But right here, Leona kind of getting a Nice little engage. Varus wasn't really there to follow it up though.
That minion doing the Lord's work, blocking that Nautilus hook on the Leona. That
Yeah.
could have been bad.
Get down, Mr. President! And kind of looking on the map again right here. Dragon is up. Lee Sin could look for a potential dragon play here. Lee Sin going to be clearing his wolves right now. He will be 5 afterwards wolves, I'm pretty sure.
Well, Volibear looking for a gank mid.
Yep, there's the root, there's the stun. This is a
And Orianna
dead
has
Orianna.
no flash from the previous gank.
Auto.
Perfectly
There's the
played.
munch. Right then and there, Volibear getting 3-0 right now. Volibear is getting quite strong.
That's a great pick for Dragon too.
Yeah.
They decide to look.
Lee Sin's probably going to have to look instead for to trade grubs for this. Up right there, there's the Q, W, E. Dodging the taunt, that's a good grass block right there as well.
Overall, good trades from Pokey. He's doing a good job at keeping his head above water.
Yep, very well played from Pokey as well. Now, I do think it's kind of tougher to play Shen into Ornn, just because, like, I feel like it's very easy for Ornn to, like, cancel Shen's TP.
Absolutely.
Because obviously Ornn has a lot of different ways to stop it. He had 2 knockups with his auto, or 3 knockups, I guess if you count his R2. He's looking for a potential kill, not going to be able to find it. Flashes under the tower.
Follow up.
Yep. But I mean, that should mean that Volibear is going to get some time into Lee Sin's jungle, knowing that he is topside. But I think Lee Sin should understand that, you know, if we just saw Volibear took Dragon, he's probably going to walk into my bot side. I'm going to instead walk into Volibear's top side and take what I can there. But luckily, Lissandra is there, kind of scope it out, make sure, hey, you're not. This is my friend's jungle. Can't take anything from over here. This isn't what's the Hershey This isn't what the Hershey company is doing to the Amazon rainforest.
Huge damage from Orianna.
Yep. Really good damage from Orianna. Obviously, kind of pushing Lissandra out of lane. Lissandra does not have TP, so if she wants the back here, she's going to be losing a little bit.
I like how Orianna knew that she couldn't kill Lissandra there just because, like, just a virtue of having Lissandra off. He knew when to stop.
I do think
amazing.
Yeah,
insect
this is
by Lee
definitely
Sin.
very greedy from Volibear right here. Trying to look for this Gromp on Lee Sin's side, kind of overstaying his welcome, and we are kind of losing because of it. And Lee Sin actually got the kill on Volibear too. I didn't even notice.
That's gonna be really big for Indian Attack.
Yeah, Indiana Tech getting 3 kills here. Looks like, was all of them going to go to Jinx here? Boom! And yeah, right there, Jinx going up 3-1. Ornn is getting some alone time with the Shen Tower, but I mean, overall, that is definitely a play that's a bit more pandered towards Indiana Tech, especially who got that shutdown. Do we see? Lee Sin got the shutdown? I mean, that's pretty good for Lee Sin, I think.
Really good job from Indian Tech for recognizing that they could just collapse the Leona and Varus. Make some of that Volibear.
Well, the Lee Sin went after the Volibear.
That's true.
Lee Sin went after Volibear and Shen TP'd down, so they turned onto bot lane. I think that was a really greedy play from Gabriel, just because like he went in there, he took the blue buff. We saw that Lissandra stopped the Lee Sin from taking the rest of his top side. I think we just give it up and be like, okay, Lissandra pushed him off. Let's just, like, I think it's safer to back off and let him come back. Because right there, the Indiana Tech had the push. So there's no way that really we could match their push.
Absolutely.
Or, like, match their rotate, I guess. Yeah, right here, looks like we are kind of storming Lee Sin's topside jungle. Kind of looking for wherever we can. And meanwhile, top lane trading is happening. 2 tanks battling it out.
Pokey now actually ahead in farm from being about 15 CS behind, right? That's gonna be big for him.
Yeah, no.
Especially being down 0-2. Having a farm lead is big for him.
Yep. To be fair, 2 of those kills were from ganks. So
Yeah, that's true.
now, if I remember correctly, is this top laner Masters? yes, this top laner is Master, so he's a relatively higher rank than Pokey, but I, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really think that was the play there, Pokey. Yeah, that's
Big
unlucky. It's
Yeah.
kind of unlucky. Nice,
Great kick from
nice
Sin.
kick from Lee Sin, having to get the Volibear flat or ult, and yeah, that's gonna be even more going to Indiana Tech.
And Indian Tech running a great Nautilus ult bot lane.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of damage going on the Varus. Leona trying to get her R stun, not going to be able to find it. Ooh, and a flash
missed
Q
flash
looking
Nautilus.
from Nautilus, not going to be able to find it. But even then, they do get to crash this wave in, and Jinx does start to get this this lead a little bigger. Actually, even bigger potentially. Well, was going to look for it to be even bigger, but the what are those called? Claptraps? What are the
Claptrap.
Claptraps? Here's the Lissandra
They're called
TP coming
snappers, I
down.
could do it.
About Shen TP coming to match it. Volibear's walking in as well. It's going to be a
Looking for the
3v3.
Jinx on the Nautilus.
Nautilus getting the kill. Lissandra ulting herself, trying to get some healing. Volibear's churning
Jinx doing
right
a
onto
good
the
job
Shen.
keeping Volibear off.
And
Oh,
right
the
there,
great
flash done. That's going to be so much damage. Also the passive right there, but here comes
Orianna
Orianna
comes
matching
cleaning
it,
it up.
getting the kill. I don't think the exhaust was really necessary right there for the Leona. I just even though I like the idea if Orianna kept going, but really I mean in that instance Orianna didn't really have much of anything. She didn't have W, she didn't have Q, she didn't. I don't think she has flash, does she? Yeah, she didn't have flash. There's not really much of a point for the exhaust there. She can't really continue that fight.
Indiana Tech is doing a great job right now of punishing. And even then, Orianna started out 0-2. She's 3-2-1 now. She is getting big leads.
Yep. She does not have flash, so she still is prone to ganks, as per the mage way. But I mean, like looking into our lanes, you know, Pokey is up like 25 CS, which is fairly significant, especially for an Ornn. Jungle is just about even in terms of gold, I think. I mean, Volibear's ahead by virtue of kills. Even actually it has more farm too. Yeah, no, Volibear's definitely ahead right now. Mid lane, obviously, Orianna's going to be a little bit ahead. Higher kills, higher farm. And bot lane, Jinx is a little bit ahead. Higher kills, higher farm as well. Yeah, right there's the stats for how much I have on them. Orianna's probably going to have to look for her back here soon, nearing 1,000 gold.
Now, Jinx has Kraken Slayer. That's already a great spike for her. One item lead on Varus. It's going to make fighting bot lane near impossible.
Yeah, and I do think as well, on top of that, by the way, this is a really good gank from
Very
Lissandra
good.
right there. Getting the shutdown of
set up.
Lissandra too. Kind of putting her back in the lead. But I do think Vampsep Pickaxe is not really the best components to be sitting on as well. And right there, that was an unfortunate missed ult. Not going to be able to really get a huge combo right there, but I do think Vampsep Pickaxe is a relatively weak item combo to have.
Absolutely. It's interesting that we're going to opt for on-hit Varus as opposed to poke Varus. I guess this is sort of a way of just trying to deal with Shen's bot. As opposed
Probably. I mean, our team is relatively bursty otherwise. So I understand the notion of going on hit here. We do also have new lethal tempo, which by the way,
great setup for a gank.
yep,
Clever.
there's our catching also his dash. By the way, he's definitely not going to make it out of this.
Great setup. Really good timing sometimes too.
I just want to say I never noticed until that gank. Volibear, like he chomps you when he does his stun. Like I didn't realize it. When you look at the animation, he like opens wide. He shows his pearly whites. It does look like right now we are a little bit behind on objectives. We do have one dragon, but they have another dragon and they have 6 grubs.
Indiana Tech trying to contest the Rift Herald. Fantastic engage from Nautilus.
I mean,
Orianna
yeah,
ult to
right
match.
here they kind of just had a rotation timing. Volibear is going to
did get the
I don't know about that engage. We don't really have anyone there, so that is just going to be another kill going to Jinx is now 5-2. Lee Sin's 3-0.
0 for 4, unfortunate. I mean, not worst case scenario. He did manage to keep the Rift Herald out of their hands, but
Right.
it was a bad.
I just don't really think trading 4 people for a Rift Herald is the best play. I think right there that was an issue of they rotated before us.
Absolutely.
And we can't really let them get to objectives before us. We do have a really good pick team. We have a lot of like lockdown. We have a lot of like, hey, you can't move anymore. So, and we since our damage is so bursty, you know, we can kind of all do our full combos. We one shot someone, and then we can kind of like reset, re-engage, and kind of play fights that way.
And Manchester seems to be doing a pretty good job of keeping Indian Attack's vision out of their jungle. Fiona having just cleared, I think, 4 wards there.
But regardless, I mean, like, this vision control is really important. Just making sure, hey, like, we know if they're going to be there, but I really want to see us start using that vision control. Hey, we see that they're there. We see, like, what they have control of. Let's work to either get that control back, or, you know, if we see that they're going to an objective, you know, maybe instead of looking to contest the objective late, or we walk in as a team, or like just kind of play around that. We are not the one in the lead right now. We are down about 1k gold. But I do think we need to play fights a bit smarter.
Absolutely. We're looking to see more communication from Manchester on what they want to do, what they want the map, just in general.
Anyway, we are getting to right about mid to late game at this point. And kind of looking down, we are seeing that Shen, despite being down a lot of CS, you know, he has been very, very high participation. Varus ult missing right there. But like Shen has really high participation right now, obviously, you know, by account of being Shen. But also he has Heartsteel. He has right about where I think you should be at about 18 minutes. Right
Interesting
around
engage
400.
from Volibear. Not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Though.
Or also missing his ult. We're going to have to play a bit back right now.
Oh, an incredible Lee Sin kick.
Great Lee Sin kick. Volibear has to ult in, but I mean, at
Lissandra.
that point, like, there's not really a lot we can do. That is just so
Oriana
much
getting the
damage.
Volibear.
Lisandra's going to be able to get
managed
the
to get
jinx,
Jinx,
but I mean, at this point, they don't really need the jinx in order to do damage. Even then, the Nautilus Q taking the kill, like right there. I think we just need to, like, we missed the Ornal. I also don't think the Ornal was really necessary on Nautilus. I think instead, if we want to look for our Ornal, we need to be looking for kind of team fight ults, like saying, hey, we see the Oriana and the Jinx right here. These are who we need to go after with our Ornal. These are who we need to lock down. If we lock down the Nautilus, cool. He's probably going to still live the burst combo, and then ult, and then that's it.
It seems like Manchester was actually a little trigger happy there because we lost Verisalt and Ornal in such a short amount of time, and Indian Attack recognized that and forced the fight off. We couldn't match the ults, so it looks like Indian Attack is just doing a phenomenal job of punishing mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a hard game state to win, but not unwinnable. Obviously, we are down 4k gold, which is, or 3k gold, 3.5k. Let's go. 3.5k gold is a significant amount to be down. But again, if we do play team fights correctly, as we mentioned, Oriana and Jinx, probably the 2 primary damage dealers, getting past them should kind of lead us to a better game state. Even though Lee Sin has been doing really well, and he is technically strong, he's not really like, he's not super strong, right? He has an item and like 4 components. He's probably going to have 2 items here soon. He's not like significantly strong. He's not significantly strong enough to kind of carry a team fight without, you know, his ult or something.
Absolutely.
Now if he was like 7-1, maybe 2. He is not. He's 3-0. Speaking of, looks like they're all preparing for Baron right now. They're getting the Skull Crab, which is really important. That's Eminent Vision for the next, 2 minutes? Something like that.
Shen right now is kind of an unsung hero. He has 14 assists. He's been there for the overwhelming majority of fights, and he's still managing to stack Heartsteel.
Yep.
It's already at 300 stacks.
Right now, we are going to be using the
Oh,
Rip Arrow, but
another
right
great
there,
kick
I
from
mean,
Lee Sin.
another great kick from Lee Sin that's kind of shutting down our ADC yet again. Leona just kind of having to engage there, hope to do something, not really going to be able to find anything. And right there, I mean, we're down 3 people. Our primary damage dealer is not there anymore. Like, we have to give up this Baron. The only thing we can do now is just push lanes and hope we can kind of, like, make them, like, make sure they get as little as they can from their Baron that they're going to get here soon. I do want to say, I would be a little careful. I mean, or engage, getting onto the Orianna.
Really looking for the Orianna
we're
here.
just getting a pick on Orianna right here.
Honestly,
I kind of like it,
yeah.
but I mean, at that
It's
point,
hard for us to play off of it.
it looks like they didn't really get much of anything though, or just kind of taking a lot, and they do get off of Baron. Maybe
did
that's
get
an
to Baron.
okay play. Okay, now it's no longer an okay play. I think if we went to a bit of a safer place to back instead of in the red bush, in the brambleback bush, brambleback bush.
That was a very good way to stop Baron. Going 2 for 1 and stopping their Baron is not bad, but it absolutely been better. It should have
Yes.
been 1 for 1.
A
I
one
like
for
the
one
vision.
Baron stop is, I think that would be ideal for us. And I mean, a 2 for 1 Baron stop, that is them still getting more ahead. So I don't know. I feel like we're kind of taking fights and we're hemorrhaging more than we're getting from
Absolutely.
these fights, which is never really what you want to hear when we're behind, especially with a comp like this where we don't really outscale them. Especially when they have infinite scaling from Shen, plus Jinx, who is obscene scaling, plus Orianna, who's pretty good scaling.
And like, Jinx is going LDR 3rd item. It looks like that's gonna be terrible for Volibear, and our front line is hardly gonna be terrible for like tissue paper.
And even then, Lissandra does, like, she kind of likes building some of the health AP items. Like, I'm pretty sure Malignance does Malignance give health? I might be mistaken, actually.
I don't think.
I don't play mages that much.
I could be wrong. Keep in mind, I could be wrong.
They're just getting a little bit of poke damage on Orianna, but I mean, overall, we do see that there's, well, we see this, but I don't know if Lissandra, actually, no, they definitely see it. They pinged it. We do see that there are 2 people bot lane. We do gotta play safe.
Now Dragon
around
is
there.
in 30, and Manchester is. It almost looks like they're looking to fight this. Ben's topside, but he has ult very soon. So
I think
it looks-
if we fight this, we have to play it smart. Like, we can't really just kind of walk in and fight them directly. We had to be there before they are. Their Lee Sin is not at the fight right now.
that is true.
So they can technically make a play here. If there is no Lee Sin, there's going to be an Orno.
Oh,
That's going to be a
great
double
Orno.
knockup.
Shen ult
Shen
coming
is coming in though. That is
Got
going to be
the
a
Orianna,
pick
got
on
the
the Orianna. Lee Sin's he can't really get into this fight right now. They're
There's
just
nothing-
fight's over by the time he's
Nothing I
there.
can do.
I mean, Leona does
a
go
little
in.
far.
There's going to be a
Oh,
huge
great
knockup from the
turnaround
Lee
from
Sin.
Lee Sin. Oh.
I mean, that was really good, but I think we just went a little too far right there.
We did greet a little. Incredible turn from Lee Sin, though.
And right there, Pokey just not able to get onto that Jinx. Jinx getting her resets, and they get a 3rd dragon. This game looks like it might just be curtains for Manchester University.
Phenomenally played by Lee Sin yet again, finding and starting fights just single-handedly over and over.
I do kind of like the engage there. We noticed that Lee Sin was not at the fight. There is a huge possibility that we could get a lot there. But I do think that what it kind of came down to is that we got a couple picks. We got the pick on Orianna. I think if we could have maybe tried to look for the like following up with the Jinx. But I think that's what they try to do. I think instead what they probably should have done, maybe just turn onto the Lee Sin.
I agree. That was a really good fight, but we suffered a lot by not knowing where Lee Sin was until it was a little too late. Because he just had the turn of the century, quite frankly.
Yeah, no, that was really well played from Lee Sin there, understanding, hey, I'm going to hit this ult, and you're going to be triple knocked up. There's nothing you can do about it. And our Jinx is just going to start minigunning not minigunning. No, yeah, that's like Tommy gunning it. And right there, that's going to be an engage. But I think there's no point to really fight here, especially a Shen right there. I think at best, what would happen is that we get in there, we use all our CDs, and we don't have anything else left. There's the Ornal, misses everyone. Can't really get a play there. And Oriana, meanwhile, taking that tower, getting 700 gold in her pocket. Right now, they're just kind of just storming our jungle. Not a lot we can do right now. Ooh, Volbear looking to make a play on this Lee Sin, but Lee Sin getting the Q onto the Gromp. They're engaging onto the Nautilus. Pretty okay, but I'd be a little concerned right now because they can just come back in, and we're using all our cooldowns on the tank. And meanwhile, Lissandra actually gets a pick on the Jinx, and we're on top of the Oriana. We actually are pretty good right now. Ornn taking as much as we can. Lissandra getting a 3-man Roots. I mean, this is actually really good for Manchester University. Lissandra getting a second shutdown. Arkham Boys getting another kill, and that is actually going to be a fight for us.
Doesn't have it active yet.
Ornn and
Right there.
Lissandra just eviscerating their backline, finding the perfect opening in Indiana Tech's peel. Indiana Tech getting a little greedy, just focusing their cooldowns on Poki and Leona.
Yeah, I mean, that was really well played from Manchester right there. Even though we did end up missing the Ornn ult, overall, I think it was just we were on top of Oriana and on top of Jinx, and we were able to kind of like get a play that way. Oh my god. That is Shen. Heart Seal proc auto doing so much damage to our carry. I feel like we need to just turn on the Shen there, being like, hey, you're the only one here. We don't care. We're just gonna one-shot you. And I mean, right here, like, kind of in a bad spot. I mean, they're not gonna. Oh, yeah, they kill.
This ends the need for Manchester to look for some kind of advantage off that team fight, but I think trying to force Baron there with the Shen behind them that strong is a little greedy, especially when he just.
I think the play really works there if they turn on that Shen.
Exactly.
The only person there at the time is the Shen, and yeah, Shen is probably what? I mean, he's 664 heart seal stacks. He's probably I don't know, probably more closer to 5,000 HP at this point. Plus Titanic Hydra, plus Iceborne Gauntlet. Like, his autos are one-shotting me.
Then buying a full and a half, or full item and a half, he Thanos in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I do think that overall, just turn on that Shen there. Even if we don't get Baron, like, we turn on the Shen, we get a little bit more,
Very
and we
much
back
so.
off.
Because they couldn't have continued Baron no matter what, but just getting and not allowing him to kind of run rampant behind us is
Yeah,
best case scenario.
especially since Shen can just do does he have an auto tech reset in his kit?
I don't think so.
I mean, he has an auto attack plus Titanic Hydra reset.
Oh,
Like that is just the fastest combo in the game. Or at least one of the fastest combos in the game. And right there, like, you see that damage from Shen. But like, we're all mid right now.
Indiana Tech finding
And-
great value bottom lane.
They're getting so much value bottom lane, and we're trying to trying to look for some kind of contest here. But I mean, Shen's also mid lane right now, and he's just pushing. Surprisingly, Shen is pushing the lane. But here's the Ornal looking for a potential play.
Missing
Looking
the
for Ornn.
Ornal
Actually,
on
no,
the
he
Nautilus.
hits it on the Jinx, but I mean, just a little too far off. We are getting a lot of damage on this Nautilus. Shen, meanwhile, is just 1v1ing the inhib. We are getting a kill there, and there's going to be a huge stun.
Wow.
Shen coming back.
Great Sandro onto the Sin, denying any form of engage.
Yeah, right there, Jinx going down, but I mean, Shen, as we saw, just one-shotting the ADC. And right here, I mean, this fight is kind of split up right now. There's another Zonya's coming out for Oriana. Where's Bulgar going? I guess, yeah, it's lost. And right there, I think honestly, what their team can do is they can just get this Ocean Drake, and I mean, this definitively is the end of the game. 10k gold behind. Yeah, just about 10k gold behind. Mid inhib is down. The team is stronger in the team fight. They have 817 stack. Then with Heartsteel. And looks like the game is going to be done here soon.
Feels like we had every opportunity to just take that Nautilus pick and leave. Because if you look mid, Shen was able to get power and inhib and still TP to the fight, which won him the fight.
I think overall, like, we let the Shen pick go through, and I think we need to understand that when we have Shen pick, in the game, Shen's at every fight.
Yeah, no team fight is how it's.
No team fight is winning until you know he does not have ult. And at this point in the game, Shen ult is like what? 40-second cooldown? 50?
Much, yeah, and it's like a 2,000 shield, I guess.
Is it? Yeah, 2,000 up shield. He comes in, he's like 6k, 7k health. Oh my god, never mind.
1637 on missing health. Wow.
Okay, also it's not a sub-minute cooldown. It's actually like almost 2 minutes. Never mind. I guess I expected them to have more CDR than. Well, okay. I suppose give CDR anymore. It does because I have Sheen and it's build path. So it definitely does CDR. Okay, right there. I mean, look at that damage.
Wow, Shen.
Look at that damage.
League of Legends tank. It's so impossible to punish the Lee Sin. He can just run and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, right here, like, this is just good macro from IT right here. Huge Ornal, getting a triple knockup.
Seeing Lee Sin's bot side.
Leona is kind of bursting down this Jinx, but, I mean, meanwhile, no one's bot side to kind of take care of this problem in the base.
Getting a lot, but...
And they're now just hitting the tower. We do need to back and, like, get onto these guys before they do too much. Right there, there's Orin trying to get his combo off. There's not going to be able to find it. He does have hop on cooldown. But, I mean, right there, he's going to kick him away, and he's just going to get out. They're still chasing, though, but they have to keep in mind that they do have minions hitting their base.
Indian Attack's way of punishing MU for what we're doing wrong is just phenomenal. Like, they gave that fight topside and just kept pushing bot. Didn't even try to go with Shen off. They acknowledged that they were going to get more out of it, even if Manchester killed all three. They're looking to end the game. They're not looking to fight. And that's
always more important.
Way hard.
And even it's like right now, I don't think anyone can match this Shen. I think this Shen is literally impossible to match right now.
I think Lissandra is going to be very strong soon. Coming up on 16, just got Rabadon, so I think the one-shot potential on the Jinx is possible. It's just very difficult, especially with just how strong Jinx is now. Approaching Infinity Edge with those items.
Do we know if Shen can ult Jinx when she's ulted by Lissandra? I assume he can, right? Oh, well, I mean, Lissandra's just going to die here. Lissandra's just
great pinch from MU.
We do have a pinch here coming from MU. We are going to get more here. But, I mean, Shen's going to be able to get away. That's going to be an ult. Double ult right there. Phenomenal. Leona getting the shutdown. Not ideal to have the support get the shutdown, but honestly, at this point in the game, whatever. Garrett.
That's the ults for just the Shen, though. So it's going to be really hard for them to hold this.
The Shen being out of the fight, though, is significant for us. We can look for a play now. The Shen is probably their most active player.
Unfortunately, Leona did get the shutdown on that Shen, though.
Yep. Leona getting the shutdown. That is probably going to get her enough HP that she can actually start activating her Warmogs. Which, overall, I do think Warmogs is a good item, but I think that's so... enough. You have 1,500 bonus health. Yeah. So she does have enough now to actually start utilizing the passive, which is really important. But I wonder then if it's better instead to not do Warmogs first and instead look for Knight's Vow or other items first.
I do worry because fights are never close enough for Warmogs to really get value. I feel like it's always a pretty cheap. So I think that if Leona lives a team fight, enough people are dead that she won't be able to do anything with the Warmog that the game will just.
Yeah, and with that in mind, the other team is going to get Baron Nashor. They can at this point just kind of play for just pushing lanes and getting advantage that way.
Warren finally upgrading all of his team items. This is about as strong as Manchester can get right now.
Yeah, I mean the only thing we need at this point is more items, but I think in the fight of more items, it's kind of going to be really hard to get there. right there, Leona getting a
Engagement,
huge
Leona.
engage. There's going to be an Ornal coming in,
Good Ornal.
getting a something on the Oriana. We are getting lockdown on the Jinx, but I mean overall,
Jinx is
she is
good.
still in the backline. She's still firing, still shooting, and
completely
I mean
safe
right
from all
here
of
we
us.
just cannot get onto this Jinx. They have so much peel, and that's going to be the TP for the end.
Really good job from Lee Sin and Shen, not fighting up, but just playing to protect the Jinx. They knew their win con and they played it incredibly.
Yeah, not to mention, you know, Jinx with LDR, like, it's so hard to really get on top of Jinx and make a play that way. I think overall, just really well played from their ADC and really well played from their top laner too, making sure that he was always at every fight, he was always there, ready to like one-shot someone with his full combo
Absolutely.
and just kind of be a meat shield. I think especially when you get to, I think especially those late game Heartsteel games where you are ahead and you have 1,000 stacks on Heartsteel, you have an extra 1,000 health to work with. Especially against a team that's, you know, Lissandra, your Varus, your Ornn. There's not a ton of percent health, and the percent health that they do have is not being used at you. It's not like a brand who's just gonna like throw an E on the ground, throw a W on the ground, and just explode you. No, it's players who actively have to commit something to you, and that's not something that they should be doing when there's a Jinx there or when there's all these other different players.
Attack just did a very good job playing off the comp. They knew exactly what they had to do, and they did that really well. It was just Mr. President, the Jinx, and Lee Sin engages, and they at least one of those was visible in every team fight. So
Yep.
curious to see how Manchester will adapt in the.
I do think we'll just have to see. right, welcome back, Manchester University. We are back with game 2 of our Week 4 League of Legends game. Now, after last time, that last time was a little bit of a tougher game for us, I think. This past game, it was tough, definitely very tough. We wanted to play through bot side, and early game it was kind of fine, but overall, you know, it felt like our bot lane wasn't really playing together. They weren't really kind of engaging at the same time, and furthermore, we were getting a lot mid, but I mean, overall, with Shen, you know, being in the game and Shen against tank, it's always kind of frustrating. If you are the tank versus Shen, because at best you get, you know, maybe a couple power plates, but I mean, you're not really in the best spot to get a ton off of that because you're a tank getting plates and the Shen is getting assists for their ADC, which overall does tend to favor towards the Shen.
Looking like the same bans as last game, except sliding in a volley bear ban from Indian Tech. Since Indian Tech did not ban Nami, it looks like they wanted to pick up Nami.
Yep.
Could be looking at like a Lucian Nami aggressive bot lane.
Yeah, definitely a possible Lucian Nami game. I think half of also why they want Nami is because they don't want to let us get Nami, so they're more than willing to pick up the Nami for themselves. So that is kind of like a pseudo 4-ban, a way you can get 4 bans in the first game just by picking up a champ that the other team would play that you can also play.
Jarvan first pick from Manchester. I really like that.
I do think the Jarvan
Very versatile.
Jarvan first pick is strong. Just being able to he's really good into a lot of matchups. Kind of do the same thing no matter what, and he can play very aggressive. He can play very mainly aggressive. He can play towards mid. He can play towards bot. Play towards top. As long as he has a little bit of lockdown, a little bit of damage, he has all the bursts he needs, and he can kind of live for a bit in team fights if he has the right.
Manchester actually letting that Lee Sin again, and it looks like Indian might be picked up.
Yeah, I mean that Lee Sin showed last time that he was a very strong player.
He's more than competent,
and definitely more competent on this Lee Sin. I think we need probably a bit more of a different strategy going into Lee Sin this time. We do have the Ashe pickup though, which is going to be a little bit better for us to make sure. Hey, could Lee Sin gank us now? Then the Hawk shot. No, or yes, or whatever. So like, that is probably the most as a jungler. That is probably the most frustrating thing when like you're halfway through your clear. Okay, I'm probably gonna skip these 2 camps and I'm going to look for this Ashe.
There it is.
There's the Hawk shot. Yep, Lucian Nami. Classic abuser lane, the lane bully. That's what it's called. Classic lane bully lane in the bot lane.
Gonna be such an aggressive side from Indian Tech already. Got the Lee Sin pick. Got one of the most aggressive bot lanes in the game.
Yep,
and it's gonna be really like bot heavy this game, at least from Indian Tech.
Yeah, I mean definitely right here. Here's the Renata, kind of a pretty good disengage, I think.
Absolutely.
Pretty good disengage pick, making sure that they can't really like super hard dive onto us. Ashe also going to make it easier to kind of kite them out. However, Lucian does have a dash, which kind of ignores the whole movement speed thing. So it's a bit harder for Ashe to kind of play into that. But I think it's going to kind of come down to who can outplay each other the most. IT obviously having a much stronger bot lane, as you mentioned.
Debating Nico again. Again. It's looking like they just don't want to play against those.
And here's the Shen ban. I kind of agree with this ban. I do think the Shen was kind of abhorrent last game. I mean, as you saw, like his full combo was like Heart Seal auto, like Titanic Hydra reset. Half the Lissandra's HP is gone. Like, yeah, no, I do think that this is probably the best ban that we could have right here. We got a Twitch chat.
In attack, getting the Blanc ban through.
I gotta talk louder.
Oh, me. I gotta talk louder. Okay.
Put the mic down.
Okay.
My bad. Oopsies.
So, go get some back. Gabriel gets some.
Okay.
Lock in, Gabriel. Lock in. They are banning LeBlanc. Now I do know that Caleb has been playing a lot of LeBlanc in solo queue a lot, so that does make a lot of sense. I'm interested though because we didn't play the LeBlanc last time. I guess they just didn't want like an assassin to kind of get on top of Lucian Nami.
The Renekton was hinted at last game via the bans, but oh, we're opting for maybe Garen here?
Garen pick, potential Garen mid pick.
I could see it.
I don't. I
That for
top.
Zach top. That's
vile.
That's interesting.
That is vile and disgusting. I like it. Not sure, but it's okay. Loud sure, but it's smooth like butter, baby. Heck yeah. I like butter. You don't have to talk to me about butter. I love butter.
A Galio mid pick.
Galio mid pick. A lot of like kind of what's it called?
Engage?
Not engage, peel for their bot lane.
Absolutely.
Yet again. Obviously the Zac pick, pretty good. Zac is pretty standard engage kind of champ. But Galio,
Hey,
I mean, obviously Galio does like building MR, so he's going to do better into Hwei. We did need the AP damage, so I guess it kind of just depends on how fed Galio gets versus the Hwei, and the inverse. I don't know too much about the mid matchup, truthfully. So I mean, honestly, this looks like a pretty interesting game. I feel like IT has a very weird comp because we don't really see Zac top, especially Zac top a lot. And Galio mid, although Galio mid is common, the only AP they damage is if Galio builds like Lich Bane kind of, right? Gray Rectangle is my favorite champ. But I mean, yeah, like their only source of AP is if Galio builds Lich Bane kind of build, Lich Bane Riftmaker,
Rocket Belt.
Rocket Belt. I mean, also like Banshee's available, pretty prominent item on him. So I mean, I don't know. It could be interesting. We'll just have to see how Hwei plays it. And to be fair, unlike Orianna, Galio can play much safer.
Yes.
Galio can play much safer.
Really
So
good at playing.
we'll just have to see how it works, see how it plays out. Shout out to Water. Great. We're not sponsored by Water, just in case you weren't aware. But yeah, we're gonna take a break here real quick, and we'll get back to you guys when we're in the game. All right, sorry about the wait, guys. Riot client is it's fun to interact with. I love it. I love it too much. We are getting into the game right now, though. Interesting. Lee Sin and Jarvan are both picking up a health pot, and they're for the jungle player.
Looking for an early invade already. Manchester invading through bot side.
Oh, it looks like we
Got a
good.
pause?
I think they
They might have
paused. I think they
paused.
must have paused.
Oh, yep.
Right there.
Yeah,
There you
both.
go.
Oh, this is dirty.
Okay, we are stacking the bot lane here. Kind of looking to see if we can get a cheeky little engage right here. Right here. We do grab a ward right there, but I mean, it looks like they are going to invade our top side. Look for a vision in there. I do kind of like this ward. This ward is pretty good at protecting potential level 2 ganks, but I mean, it is Lee Sin, so he's going to be level 3 looking for at least. And Jarvan is going to be going into the top side here. So they will see Jarvan on the top side. They will not see Lee Sin on any side necessarily. So definitely a bit more favored towards Indiana Tech. They can play reactionary for it. It looks like they're actually assuming that he is their bot side.
I'm not sure what the standard runes are for Galio, but he does have Aftershock right now, which leads me to believe he could be building tank instead of AP.
Right. Let's see, Galio, you said? Yes. I do think Afterburst is traditionally or Aftershock is traditionally the better rune for Galio, just by what he has. By the way, this is a really good trade
Really
from Manchester
good
right
trade
here.
from M2.
Honestly, I don't really know what the Nami was thinking. I'll poke you down a little and then get demolished by Ashe and Renata.
Got a little overconfident.
And looking into top side, I mean, this matchup can't be playable for
Zach
Ornn,
just-
right?
Wow.
This
Zach just
matchup
reaching his
cannot be
level
good
2.
for Ornn, right? Okay, Zach is a goblin champion. I think this champion is an absolute goblin. Like, it's like Warwick, but like without any of the problems that Warwick has. I feel like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Warwick, yeah, he auto attacks for you, so you can't really, you have to build Bramble, and that's the counterplay. What's the counterplay to Zach? Lose lane. That's the counterplay.
Pretty much.
But right there, kind of an engage
from
on Nami,
Renata.
but Lucian kind of getting some damage,
Oh,
and
wait.
exhaust on the
Could be a
Lucian. So much damage
Honestly,
coming out
yeah.
onto that Lucian, but Ashe is also taking a lot of damage. Could get one shot, honestly.
Summoner for a summoner. It's big that Indiana Tech does not have heal now, but it's also rough that we lost exhaust so early.
True. I mean, it was kind of necessary to get that exhaust early.
That
though,
is
to be
true,
fair.
especially with Ashe so low. I think that's actually a little better for Indiana Tech's top lane.
Right.
Both Nami's an 8 heal.
Right here, there's good damage coming out onto this this Zach.
Wait.
Taking tower shot. He is, yeah, that's a little goober. Look at that. Look at that gun. Look at that boy run. It looks like Lee Sin is looking bot side right here. They're flashing in, but Lee Sin's going to be here for
great
this fight.
engagement.
And I mean, right here, this is going to be CK dying for sure.
It's absolutely a death. And Lucian getting
Yeah,
the kill.
and not only that, they're trying to wait to mount the Renata thing, but I mean, Lucian's getting 2 kills.
wow.
Jarvan came in trying to save the play, not going to quite find it, and well, I mean, it looks like Lee Sin's going to be. I feel like Lee Sin could honestly look to invade Jarvan here, but well played for our Loki right there, getting the passive. But I mean, he's just going to get engaged on if he's not too careful. And like here's a half health Zach. I mean, he's just going full heal to full too.
Now, something big worth noting is that Jarvan actually lost Flash during that skirmish down bot, so he lost a majority of his gank potential unless Indiana Tech messes up and pushes up. So
Right.
it's going to be really hard for Manchester to find something for a good little while.
Yeah, that's for sure. And not only that, but Lee Sin also got vision onto Jarvan's bot side, seeing that, oh, he went straight to his bot side. He could honestly look for a play top side right now, knowing Jarvan is bot side. He cannot match it.
It's Orange Flash.
And Lee Sin could also look for a potential invade on Jarvan's top side.
We're doing a good job of getting away top lane. It's something. But he doesn't know he has vision.
Yeah, right here, Lee Sin looking for an engage here. I mean, this is going to be another pow. Lee Sin getting yet another kill, 102 with a Caulfield Hammer. Really, really big back for Lee Sin for his first back.
Really good re-hit from Lee Sin too, knowing that the opportunity was still there.
And that's going to be Ornn TP coming in. He's not going to miss too much, but I mean, Zach can kind of just walk back to lane and make sure he keeps TP for tempo.
Zach has a refillable potion. That's abusive. There's nothing Ornn can do in lane about him.
Now, Zach's passive it's the blobs, right?
Zach's passive I thought was the W. Like it was a W passive. and then his passive was the revive thing.
Oh, you're right. Right. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. The blobs is the W passive. I don't play much Zac, so. but now that you mention that, yeah, that's for sure. You're right. You're right. Karthus ult. And you know, a Karthus ult would be really nice here. A Karthus ult would have been really nice. Also, no one's level 6 in the lobby besides Away and Ornn, I guess. So I guess 2 people in the lobby are level 6. Wait, that's a great trade
Really
from Ornn right there. Galio moving to engage on the Jarvan here.
Really
Meanwhile,
good
Wei
EQ.
missing his fear, not going to be able to get away. It looks like.
Wait, probably dead though. At least in here, that's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Looks like he was trying to stall out for his disengage ability, but not going to be able to find it. By the way, this is some really good damage coming out onto Lucian. Both barriers coming out at the same time. Who's going to get the kill first? It's going to be Risk Asuna. And Nami just looking for this auto, and there's the auto.
It.
But I don't know who. I assume Nami wins this fight, right?
Yeah. So,
And there's the Galio
ult.
ult, without a doubt. Now
Yeah.
I don't think that Galio ult was necessary, but they get a little something.
Ooh,
Nice
good
side
dodge
step.
from wow.
Yeah, actually pretty well played from Renata right there. Kind of understanding her limits.
I think the potential for MU to have gotten away with that fight was pretty big there. It was a 1-for-1, and I feel like if
Here's a
Asuna
portal
Yuki had
right
focused
here.
a little bit more on trying to get out, then it was. Oh wait,
Oh my God, he
What a
was in. He
great
was in
timing.
stun, and that's going to be a dead Zac there for the Ornn. But
1-for-1,
I mean,
but
honestly,
top waves pushing in. He got value out of what was probably going to be a death anyways. So it's not worst case scenario, but Ornn losing a wave and a half is going to be hard.
right? I mean, for sure, without a doubt. But I mean, also, Wei is getting some time on this bot lane turret because of Galio TP or top Galio. Galio ult down bot. That's the word. So Wei's going to get some alone time with that turret. Going to be able to grab some plates. Jarvan also looking for the dragon, seeing Lee Sin was top, and they're getting some good poke on Lucian now. It looks like bot lane is playing a bit stronger in this game already.
Interesting that Lucian and Nami are playing so far back, especially with the overall item lead that they do have. It looks like they would be stronger, but they're not really wanting to fight. Even though Renata's level 5 right now.
And if we leak, we actually see Exec Alternator on Galio, so it looks like he is going to go for a more AP build. Like that dash from the Zac. Just because I feel like it didn't really do much. I feel like if you are Zac, you want to trade with your jump, just by virtue of being able to jump onto them, kind of do your burst damage and kind of get out. But
Absolutely. Now there's a pretty substantial gold. Oh wait! Oh,
that's really good.
fantastic
Good
action
flash on the
and
Nami
flash
too.
from
Well played, bot
gorgeous
lane.
engage from
Huge.
bot lane.
Okay, but they can't go too far. They have to push in this wave first before they can look to dive Nami. Which
That is the
it looks like they
coordination.
are. Looks like Lee Sin's also trying to match the dive here, but they're not really
Looks like they're just
getting
gonna
that
cancel.
much. Yeah.
Oh,
but there's so much
fantastically
damage on the
played by
Lee
Lee
Sin.
Sin.
Lee Sin going to
Wow,
get a double
Lee Sin.
here. Armstrong was going to be able to
Leading
get the
up.
kill on Nami, but I mean that's a taunt, and Lee Sin does so much. Oh,
Oh,
wait, he's actually
but
out.
he's
Never
out.
mind.
fantastic EQ.
Good
Good dodge.
side step on the Q. He just has to get out right here.
That's Galio
And
flash.
not going to be able to find it. I'm actually
Really
surprised
good.
that the Lee Sin SmackDown hit there. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. Caleb is looking to get some more turret plates mid lane. Not going to be able to find any. Having to use flash to get out too.
Now, something worth mentioning is Lee Sin has gotten a pretty significant amount of the kills here, and
Yeah.
he is 6-0. That is going to be rough for Manchester because he has Eclipse 10 minutes in.
There's the Lucian ult right there. Kind of looking to get some poke damage in on that Ashe, putting her to half health. And I will say, with an Eclipse Lee Sin at 10 minutes, these guys had died. Lee Sin
Yeah.
can just walk in,
Yeah.
smack the ground, and they just explode.
And it looks like he's going to do that. Oh, no. It might be on a back timing.
Yeah, it looks like he will be looking for a back right here. Probably going to play towards Grubs here, since they will be coming up in just about 30 seconds.
Now Lucian and Nami with Lucian's heading to back. That's a good wave to back on.
That's a good wave to back on. I'm actually surprised that Nami is backing right here. I figured that Nami is just going to be looking for grubs here. But it does look like Nami is actually walking back with Lucian. So if we move over to grubs at the same time, it will be 3v3. To be fair, I don't think it's a good idea. We are behind on kills, and that's a really good engage. That's actually a dead wave, without a doubt, right?
That is
No, that's actually a disengage.
really well, but not protecting him.
Here's an Ornal coming in, actually getting the ult onto
good.
Lee Sin, kicks him over.
Engage, but Lee Sin manages to get out.
Double taunt from the Galio. Great
Great heal
engaging
from the
too.
Galio.
Nami getting the ult off, and that is going to be a knocked up wave. And right here comes Zach jumping in. Ults
Zach
are flying all over the place,
flashing
but I mean,
onto
right
Earthling.
here, there's
Looking
no
like
way
Wei
that
is
this Wei
dead
can
here.
get away right now. And right there, the play does go back to Indiana Tech. Definitely in their favor. Lee Sin is low, but I mean, he understands that he's backing off and he's looking to get onto those grubs.
He did a good job not playing for 2-up once he got low. He did a really good job just playing passively, throwing Qs, knowing that he couldn't fight and didn't want to give bounty.
I think that's always like one of the most important things if you play Lee Sin. It's kind of like if you play an assassin, you have to understand, hey, if I walk in, I'm just going to die immediately. There's no point for me to do that. But pretty good engage for the Ornn right here. Renata also doing so much damage.
Really good fight for
Lucian
him.
having to back away, and I mean, this is going to be a dead Zach. Look at those blobs.
Lucian
Those little
unfortunately living, but
boobs.
this is a 4v2 or like a 0 for 2 actually, and we get grubs. This is a great fight from MU.
Yeah, that fight was definitely really good from MU right there. Being able to kind of like take back this sort of game that wasn't really that great for us. But I mean, right now we're sitting at a 1.5K goal deficit, which is much better than where we are before.
This is true, and it's worth noting that half of that gold deficit is just on Lee Sin because he's so ahead right now ahead in farm, and he's ahead 7-0. So it
Right.
looks like Indiana Tech has a pretty considerable lead, but that's only on one person. The rest of them are pretty even. So Manchester's doing a good job keeping their head above water.
And that does mean that it will fall into the Lee Sin to make sure that if he can maintain this lead and make like useful plays around the map, and if he can't do that, how can he make sure that plays aren't too bad for us
Absolutely.
or for them? I guess. Okay, right here, really good support. Trying to get vision. I'd be very careful walking into that bush,
he's
pal.
dead.
That is without a doubt a dead Renata Glask. And I mean, we definitely can't match this dragon anymore. Although, actually, it looks like we can. Ornn did TP down. Here comes an Ornal coming in. Not
Ornal
going to hit
missing.
anyone. There's
Really
Nami over
good Nami
disengaged.
ult.
However, looks like actually that Jarvan kind of canceled the Ornn dash. I don't know if I've ever seen
Collapsing
that
on
before.
the way.
And right there, the Hui is going to die. We can't really fight this fight anymore. It's 5v4 without a
Manchester.
doubt.
Just are staying a little bit longer than they needed to. They don't need to be here right now.
Yeah, Jarvan being taken down by Lee Sin, and also Lee Sin getting the dragon afterwards. Overall, objectives are even, but with that being the case, you know, Lee Sin getting this dragon is important. Lee Sin 9-0 at 14 minutes. This is a godsend game if you are a Lee Sin player. You love to play for these kinds of leads, and when you have these leads, you can be so obnoxious to deal with. Have Eclipse. He's probably looking with probably looking for what's another item? Probably Sundered Sky. That's what it's called. I want to say Divine Sunder. Sundered Sky. And I mean, overall, Lee Sin's just going to be monstrously ahead of Jarvan. He's so fed. He's probably going to be clearing his jungle super fast. Looks like Wei just beating him up a little bit.
It seems like a big problem here is actually communication. So Manchester is taking a long time to make decisions, and Indiana Tech is just making them immediately. They're on the same page. Like, they all turned to face the Hui during that team fight at the same time.
Yeah.
So the fact that Indiana Tech is able to make a decision faster and like sort of get away with more things than Manchester can right now, it's looking sort of rough, especially with Lee Sin so strong.
Yeah, and I mean, overall, it looks like first item for Galio is going to be Next time Rocket Belt right here. So it does look like it's going to be an AP Galio build. Void Grubs? Bah. I love Void Grubs. Even I played during the old patch where those Rift Herald first. And even though I was a big fan of not having Void Grubs in the game, I don't know. Those goobers are pretty fun. I like those guys. I like the gold they give me when I kill their children.
I like that top lane is finally looked at early game.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's a wasted Namiel. This could actually be an okay fight for
Yeah,
MU.
honestly, this could be an engage onto
really good Galio ult,
on the
though.
Lee Sin
Hitting
right
3.
here. That's going to be
Phenomenal
a huge
Renata.
Renata ult. Here's going to be the Ornn ult right here. That's going to be a huge knockup from everyone.
The
Earthquake getting a
Ash.
kill on the Nami. Lucian dying. Everyone's dying.
Wait, this is a
Wait,
great
and
fight.
Ash also
Ash
playing her.
still-
That's onto the wave.
Phenomenal
And
fight
there's going to be a
Manchester.
roots right there. And Zach is not going to be able to get out of this one, I don't think. Oh, never mind. He has flash. And he actually re-engages, gets the kill on the Renata. Very well played from him. What happened right there? I mean, whatever. Ori got the kill.
A flawless fight from Manchester up until the very end, going it's 1 for 5. Incredibly played. The fact that Ash lived there is just unreal.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, like, it was so well played from Manchester right there. Like, that fight, I don't think could have been played better.
Exactly. They had great communication in that fight. A huge upgrade to what it has been in the last week.
Not only that, but like the Renata ult plus the Ornn ult, like I wish we had a way to like kind of watch that fight back. Like everything just kind of like meld together. It was kind of like, I think that was kind of like the insane combo, which was the idea for this draft. And I mean, looking at the items now, you know, we have Ornn 4 and 2 items up. We're not the Kanik Rukerd plus Sunfire Cape. That's kind of an insane 2 items to have. Kanik going to kind of stop Galio completely, and Zach in fighting Ornn can definitely look to fight him back now.
Absolutely. And being able to gather yourself during that team fight after a 3-man Galio knockup is just unreal. They had Zac running them down, they had Galio in, they had Lee Sin in, and they still managed to figure out a way to play like completely together and off. It was phenomenal.
Looks like
Indiana
Indiana Tech,
looking for a little bush cheese here, bot side.
yeah, definitely right now. And Galio kind of taking a lot of damage from trying to get the plate right there, and they're engaging onto this Ornn. I mean, honestly,
Ornn's
this
just
is
so tanky.
Ornn is just he's just not going to care. But I mean, he is going to get Lee Sin ulted. But I mean, even then, he's going to look
He's just
for
gonna keep
another engage
engaging.
onto the Lee Sin. Nami is going to try to disengage. Ash ult plus Renata ult coming in, not going to quite find
Lee
it.
Sin
But I mean,
in,
Lee Sin
Galio
looking to just
ult.
like go in. Dermot kind of
Little
destroying their own
Galio
team because the Galio taunt. And right here, I mean,
Right
like
there.
that's kind of the strength of a 9-1 Lee Sin right there. He can kind of engage on that, and obviously Jarvan, you know, despite getting a really good ult, you know, you can't really get those kind of ults onto someone that can just get Galio ulted, and then everyone else who's also stuck in that ult, you know, they're going to get the Galio shield, they're going to get the Galio knockup. Galio is also not building MR, he's building AP, so that smackdown, when he comes down with the might of Zeus, everyone's getting exploded.
Absolutely, and Lucian getting 2 kills there, one of them being a shutdown, I believe, is really big for Indiana Tech, especially since Lucian started out ahead, but he slowly started to fall behind. This gold might help him get back on his feet.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, even then, you know, here we have like 2 items and a half on Lee Sin. He's so unbelievably strong. He's just going to be able to constantly look for these kind of plays that we just saw. And I feel like a lot of fights will start leading in that direction. They took a game that was pretty even in terms of gold numbers, and now if you look at the gold lead, we're down about 3K after about 1 fight.
Really good catching up from Manchester. I think this is, to be honest, going to look very good. I like that we're giving Dragon here. We know that our win cons. We have B mid right now. It's a 1-3-1. Just looking for overall good throughout the map. Maybe a good collapse here.
Yeah, it looks like we're also going to get
TP coming in
from Ornn.
from
Yeah, just kind of stopping that fight before it kind of gets out of hand. We already pushed in that top lane, so they have to kind of respond to that, we can kind of look to make a play bot. And the only objective up right now is Baron. Next Dragon is not going to be till for another 5 minutes, so any plays that happen right now, we're only going to really be getting towers, if anything. Which, speaking of towers, here comes Shelly looking to bash their way through. Right there, there's Shelly.
It just looked like it might be a 5v5 mid here.
Yep, and not only that, with the wave clear, they are going to get
Ornn
a
hopping
lot
in
here,
the Rift
but
Herald.
I don't know about this. They are going to get a small engage onto Ornn. And
Oh,
there's a huge
huge
knockup
Zac
from Zac,
engage.
plus the Galio
Galio
knockup.
following
We're not
that.
going to be able to kind of disengage a little bit, but overall, not going to quite work out for Manchester University. They're going to get a lot of damage down, but I mean, it's just not enough. And right there, I mean, I guess you kind of understand that must be the play that they were hoping to make with the Zac ult, with the little Grosspok bonk. But I mean, when you have Zac plus Galio, that has to be the kind of play you're looking for.
Incredible angle from Zac too. Zac knew that they were going to push up. Zac had the perfect response. He hit both Wei and Ashe, I believe, or Ashe and Renata. So, like the perfect targets on the perfect engage with the Galio ult to follow. That was just very well played by him.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think there is a way they could have played that better besides maybe some different spacing on their fights, just making sure that they don't get the kill there. But right here, I don't really know about this. I feel like Lee Sin has too much healing for Renata just a 1v1, and I mean right there, that was so much damage.
There
on
we
Lee
go
Sin.
though. It ends up working out.
Yep. Shutdown going to Hui, kind of getting him even more into this game. I'm not too sure how hard Hui scales. I feel like Hui is a pretty... I think he scales better than AP Galio.
Absolutely.
If nothing else.
With the double burn too, he's actually gonna be able to do some work on the Galio and the Zac.
Yep, for sure. Especially since the Galio is building AP. He's not having that MR that actually stops the max health damage. And it looks like everyone knows that Manchester's on Baron right now. They're kind of looking to start something here. We're trying to bait them. We missed the Ashe ult. But it looks like we're trying to force down this Baron. I'd be a little careful about this.
Lee Sin's not here. I think
Wait, you're right. Lee Sin is not here. But here comes Zac.
Zac looking to stop, getting on
That's the Baron.
fantastic engage from Zac.
Huge engage. I feel like we just kind of need to turn on Zac right there.
Way barely living.
Or getting the ult down onto Nami and Lucian.
Really good
Jarvan
engage
getting a
from
huge
Ornn.
R right there, but Lee
Good
Sin's
fight.
back into this fight.
And they know that they have to back up. That is good communication from Manchester. They got Baron, they got a couple picks. Zac re-engaging though.
Yeah, and Lee Sin just going to
Phenomenal Lee Sin.
Getting in, Galio getting a huge knockup, but this top tower actually kind of stopping their push right now. They can only make it 2 for 2, but Manchester getting Baron. That play does favor the Baron getters, which is us this time.
It does look like they're only going to get 2 out of that. That's really good by Manchester still. The fact that Wei lived there was really big.
Yeah, I mean, well played from Manchester right there, kind of evening this game up a lot more. This game has been wild when you look at when we look at the gold change throughout the game, the gold chart, what it is, because like obviously it was our favor for a little bit, then it was Indiana Tech's favor for a little bit, then it was our favor again, and then it was even again, then it was Indiana Tech for a significant bit, and now we're kind of back to only a 2K gold deficit from our 3K gold deficit. So if anything, we are slowly making progress here. Ornn kind of brawling with the Zac right here. I'd be a little concerned seeing the Zac engage onto us. Like, it has to be followed up by other people.
Ornn isn't going to be able to get out of this.
Ornn definitely isn't. At best, he can only hope for to get a cheeky kill on someone.
Well, if you look at the mid, they're using that timing really well.
Yeah,
they're going to take towers off that. That could have been planned.
Probably. I mean, if you have Ornn top and everyone else together, like, we are able to get a lot for that. And with wave clear, we are able to get so much more. We should notice that, yes, they are backed. Like we don't see them top anymore. They had to have backed for us. Now we can leave. Now we can look for this dragon potentially.
There's only one problem with what they just did, and it's that dragon is now alive, and Pokey is not. Pokey is kind of just a brick wall for MU, and not having that brick wall. A huge Nami already
and the
looking for a
choke.
fight.
There's
Not
the
all,
redemption.
not finding much value. Zac engaged, finding
Zac
2.
double engage,
This
double
siege.
knockup. I mean, Yeah,
not
this fight,
playable for Manchester.
I feel like we just, and here's the orange TP coming in just a little too, too late. And yeah, now they're going to look for this dragon, and that is going to be IT's second dragon of the game, or third dragon.
I'm not even
rather.
sure it can be contested by MU.
Definitely not. We do not have Ash. We do not have damage. If we look for something, it's going to be a steal, and I mean, we can't walk in for that. And there's the Galio ult. There's the double knock-up. There's the Ornn ult coming in. Nothing can be done about this. And here we are seeing, I feel like we saw this just earlier, did we not?
We did not need to contest that any further. We had the opportunity to just give it, and we didn't. Big greed coming from Manchester.
Yeah, and I mean, right there, like, even though we had the Baron buff, we had the ability to just push lanes, we kept trying to look for a little bit more when we just weren't in the spot to do so, and we had to back off, we had to look elsewhere, and well, now we're in a spot where we're back to this 3k gold deficit after being able to kind of bring it back a little bit. Lee Sin, again, still running through this team, 13-2.
3 items, all damage. He's a monster right now.
Well, even then, like, Eclipse is giving shields. Sundered Sky is giving healing per auto. Like Lee Sin, even though he is, like, it's all damage, it's also tanky damage.
Exactly.
Which is messed up that you could just buy that for, like, 2.5k gold.
Every single one of those items give an HP, right?
Yeah,
sure
Black
Eclipse, but...
Eclipse doesn't, but it gives shields.
Oh,
So,
yeah. So
it's not HP, but it's
still tankiness.
It's still tankiness, yes. Going to help him live longer in fights. And even though, you know, Jarvan does have Eclipse Sundered Sky, overall, I think it's better for Lee Sin to have that, because Lee Sin, right now, sitting at level 14, you know, he has the built-in shield in his kit, he has the built-in healing in his kit. These, I think, overall, are going to be more helpful to him rather than Jarvan. And I think he's better at proccing Kong than Jarvan.
And kind of someone that's slipping under the radar right now is Lucian. Lucian just hit his 3-item power spike with Navori Flicker Blades, and he's 9-5. He started out a little bit ago, I believe 5-3. He's slowly been working up more kills and more golden.
Yep.
I think he's going to be a menace during these fights, especially with Nami scaling with Imperial Mandate now.
Yeah, and especially if Lee Sin can look for potential, like, R, like, double knockup kind of thing, it will be a lot of damage coming out for Lucian. And it's going to be much harder for us to deal with it. And on that note, Zach is strong right now, too.
Zach.
Getting a huge engage. Ash,
Lucian
so low
following
on
up
HP.
Galio, going
but
to hit 2.
looks like Nami kind of getting this engage. Lee Sin getting killed on Renata. Jarvan has to get out of this fight, and Lucian getting all the damage
Lucian.
down. And, I mean, at this point, I think it's just about over. Like, ooh, actually kind of
good
nice.
turn on
That's
Lee
actually a
Sin.
really good
Really
turn on
good
Lee Sin. He
punish.
kind of got stuck right there.
He's been used both of his dashes, and they knew that, and they did a really good job of punishing
Steering him
Zach
back
too
into the
far up
turret.
alone.
But, I mean, even then,
They
even
can't
if we
take us
get
far.
that, like, we do have to give up. We have to give, like, rock back a little. They do get that turret. So even though, like, the play overall was salvaged a little bit for Manchester, it still was a good play for Indiana Tech. And that's kind of like one of the tough things, is that when you get to this late in the game, when the opponent is so far ahead, the best play, like, the only plays you can really make are the ones that minimize what you lose. And in that case, like, they minimize what they lose, but I mean, minimizing what you lose is so hard.
Very much
because you're still going to be end up being behind, and you can't play fights as you want to.
A big problem with Manchester has been target switching. We've been focusing the wrong person during fights, and that's been kind of eating away at us really slowly. We have the ability to turn off of Zach there, but we just don't.
Yeah, and with that being noted, you know, Baron is up. We are looking for Baron, but I mean, even then, we have to keep in mind they're stronger than us. We can't win a Baron fight.
Zach isn't here though. This is lookable. We get the Baron.
Yep, we get the Baron. Or
we
trying to
get out?
disengage this Lee Sin. And right there, Zach's getting another engage. Renata ult coming in, getting a couple people, but overall, they're not going to be able to fight each other. And as well,
Ash
right
just
there.
having to fight back. Only one death for Baron isn't too. Oh, I spoke too soon. My bad. I jinxed it. My fault. Shouldn't have said that.
And right there, again, like, even though, again, we got Baron, but we lost 2 for it. We got 0. that play does favor, I think, IT. They now have numbers of they can instead look, hey, it's our soul point. It's Mountain's soul point nonetheless. We can look into their jungle. We can get vision in there. We can look to cheese them. They have super minions coming in. They can't get to this fight very fast. And furthermore, they don't have a support. They don't have a jungler up right now. We can get all we want. We can take their bot side jungle. We can put vision in there. We have the Galio TP. We have Zac engages. We have all of the stuff that we can do, and we're just gonna they can't contest us. And if they do, we're just gonna turn because we're stronger than them.
Absolutely. Like, all they have to do now is just try and get kills so they can get more pressure around the map. So if they get like 2 picks and they just split like bottom and mid, it's what is Manchester able to do? It's 3v5. They're not going to be able to stop the towers from being taken. And Indiana Tech just has a bounce house comp. Like, they have Zac. They have Zac. Just Zac as a champ is a bounce house. They
Right.
have Lee Sin kick. They have Galio ult. They have Nami bubble. If they
Nami ult even.
if they hit one piece of CC, whoever is hit by the CC is dead. So this has to be very, very, very well played by Manchester if we want to look to salvage this.
Yeah, I think honestly right now what Indiana Tech needs to do is they need to probably put 2 people in a side lane and then 3 people probably mid, or even like 1 in the side lane and 4 people mid, just to like, or even probably like 2 top, 3 bottom, something like that, just to force these towers down and they can kind of open up how many ways they can win.
And to answer the question in chat, what do you get for triple mountain Drake? I believe it's 12% armor and magic resist. I thought you get 4%
It's something
for
akin to that. I think you get less magic resist than you do armor, but I might
could
be mistaken on
And
that.
Mountain Soul also gives you a shield that slowly fills up at the comp. It's just
Yep.
like a path. It's like Rakan shield.
Yeah, and it's like, again, it's a significant shield. Like, it's
It's
not a small
pretty big.
shield whatsoever.
Like, on a champ as squishy as Nami, the shield was that big, and it refills pretty quickly. So it's very powerful, especially if they're trying to play slow, just fish for picks or fights while popping.
And that shield also scales with a ton of different stats. So like, it doesn't matter. Even if you're Zac, that shield is big. But if you're Lee Sin, who has all these damage items, he's still gonna have a massive shield too.
An incredibly good soul for Indiana Tech to have that Manchester kind of just threw away.
What a friendly and informative set of casters. I'm not friendly. I'm Rimbo. But I mean, with that, right now, we took that tier 2 tower top and bot. That's another, what is that, 1,200 gold going to Indiana Tech just because. How much gold you get? You get 700 from
I believe so.
tier 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's actually 1,400.
5.2 gold lead. 5.4k, 3k. It's changing, but
Yeah, I mean,
5K
it's like
gold lead.
roughly, yeah, 5K. Actually, no, 6. That's 6K.
Yeah, just
We're
Indiana
college
Tech's
students, by the way.
massively ahead. Yeah,
Uh,
it's the reason I'm not taking calc.
There's a reason I dropped out of chemistry. But no, like a 6K gold lead is significant. Plus Mountain Drake, they're going to be pretty unkillable, especially since now Zac with what's that? That's Thornmail plus Hollow Rays plus all the tank items plus like tank damage items too. Ash getting an ult down, but I feel like it's not especially useful right now. We're not really looking to engage anything. Maybe he was just trying to hope that Carbon 4 doesn't get bullied on turret.
Something like that. I think that overall was a little bit better for Manchester because they used Lucianol on the Way, but Way didn't die. So Lucianol is down for at least a little bit if they want to look for anything, which, to be honest, I don't even think they can do. Turtling isn't going to work because Indiana Tech is just slowly outscaling them. There's nothing... Manchester has to find some way to take control of the game here. And I think that's by a fight where we target Lucian.
Even with that being the case, Lee Sin's going to be in these fights for a very long time, and Lee Sin is more than capable of winning long fights, especially with the build Stair Skate, Sundered Sky, Black Cleaver, Eclipse. There's just so much damage. There's so much damage coming in from Lee Sin that it although you're right, getting onto the solution is very important. They still have that damage in the back with Lee Sin. They still have the damage coming in from Zac, who is level 18, three damage oriented tank items. Galio still able to one shot with like 2.5 items. And let's see, he's running aftershock too, so like he's still tanky. He's still able to knock everyone up, taunt everyone. It's just I feel like it kind of has to be everyone at once if Manchester wants to win.
So it
this.
looks like Manchester is actually maybe walking into a trap play. Lee Sin, they're canceling. But Lee Sin and Lucian were both sitting in a bush as Baron came up, so it looked like when they wanted to come get vision, Manchester did. And Indiana Tech was just going to be ready to punish that.
And it looks like right here they're looking for a fight at Baron. Zac really trying to move around, kind of push in these mid waves, these bot waves, but I mean Manchester kind of has to give up this this control of topside. Oh, Lee Sin has kind of a nasty flank here too if he wants to engage on this. Wei is not there. Zac is moving up. There's going to be a 5v4. Wei has to move and be there at the right time. Zac looking to engage there.
Huge kick from Lee Sin.
Yeah,
But Ash is alive.
Ash is
Great
alive.
Renata
Nami
ult.
getting an ult.
Maybe turning it back.
But I mean,
Wei
even
doing
then,
a
they're
good job
so
fighting.
tanky from the Mountain Drake, plus the Zac healing, plus all this other healing. So much damage coming
Wei's
from the
doing
Wei.
big work though. The double burn doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, they do kind of stop that play for just a bit, but
But that is gonna be Elder for Indiana Tech if Manchester does not contest it, and if they get Elder, that is more than likely game. Manchester has to try and at least look for something here.
yeah, but I mean, on that note, Lee Sin ult is coming up. Galio ult is up right now. Pokey does not have ult, or Orn does not have ult. Jarvan does not have ult. Ash does not have ult. Renata does not have ult. We are just losing the ult fights right here if we want to engage here. And I mean, if the only way we win this is if we get the steal here, and Jarvan ulting onto the Lucian, it's not looking pretty. And right here, they're peeling off the Elder, knowing that, hey, you guys can't steal this if we don't damage this. And
Huge.
right there, like, just
Oh.
huge knockup from the Galio, huge knockout from Zac. It's over for Manchester
Indiana
University
Tech's
right here.
knockup timings have just been incredible. The timing of that Zac engage with the Galio was perfect. There was nothing Manchester could have done to match that.
Yeah.
By virtue of having no ults on MU's side, it was genuinely just not lookable for them because Indiana Tech knew they had to try and stop them from taking Baron, so they turned. It was incredibly played by Indiana Tech. Really good job at using Manchester's weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean, right there, like, that was just through and through. Like, that late game was as well played as you could play, like, they understood, hey, we can no longer make plays. Or they understood that, hey, we need to, like, play smarter in a fight. We need to, like, make sure we're not getting engaged on by Orn, by these Renata ults. But overall, I feel like, they had the stronger engage. They had the stronger engage. They had the better damage with Lucian, Lee Sin combined, even though they did not really have AP with Galio.
Very much so.
Like, it was just so hard to play, I feel like, for Manchester at that point. I feel like at that point, it then becomes like a thing of what can we do better in lane? What can we do better to not get behind?
And the communication on Indiana Tech's side was just flawless, both of
Yeah.
those games. They knew exactly what they were doing, always on the same page, always looking at the same target. It was really hard for Manchester.
And on the macro side of it too, they were at every objective. They always saw, like, they were at every objective. They were always rotating on the timers. They weren't rotating when it came up. They were like 90% of the time, oh, Grubbed is up. We're all there. We're already there. If you guys want to come in, you guys have to A, regain vision control, and B, you have to, like, walk in as a couple, and your bot lane and support are bottom together. Your top laner, he's walking down, mid lane's walking up. Like, it's a pinch, but it's not a pinch because it's 3v4 still. Even though you guys don't have the numbers advantage, or you guys have the pinch, but it's not numbers advantage. We're going to win this fight because then we can all focus you, and then we focus you, and then we focus you.
Yeah, it was really well done by Indiana Tech. But they had two global comps across both games where it was no matter where the engage was or no matter where the fight was, it was always going to have 5 people from Indiana Tech there. Because they had Galio ult, they had Zac's E rotates. Lee Sin's just a fast champ. They had Shen ult last time and they just played as a group. It's really hard to get in to the 5v5s because they just played Peel for the ADC, and it was just so hard to get in, and
Yeah.
we could not find a way in.
I mean, that was really well played from IT.
Phenomenal game.
I do think that I think as a team we'll be coming back. We'll probably be revising what we're doing, continuing to practice, continue to get better, and yeah. Are we looking to do an interview after this, or all right? So I think with that we are going to go ahead and call it a stream there. Thank you guys for all for watching. Make sure to tune in. When's the next game? Yep, Rocket League will be Monday at 7 o'clock. Make sure to tune in for that. If you like, I mean, Rocket League is always fun. It's card soccer, you know. So make sure to tune in for that. Otherwise, you know, it's a pleasure casting as always, and we'll see you guys next time.